Hello everyone, Super Duper Boy here. The third episode of the Bad Batch arc came out yesterday, and you all probably know this by now, but I'm going to have spoilers in this video. So, this episode starts off right after a distant echo, with the team getting attacked by a bunch of droids. And this episode is definitely action-packed. There's tons of battles, and the best one is the one towards the end, but I'll talk about that a little later. Now, something I've noticed is that the episodes are getting a little less serious, I think. Which, that is in no way a bad thing, but it seems like there's a little bit more comedy. I like the joke that Wrecker is afraid of heights. Actually, I think he might be my favorite Bad Batch member. He just has a lot of personality. And Echo is just as good in this episode, if not better. He remembers who he is and acts like his old self, but towards the end when Rex says, just like old times, Echo hesitates, and it shows that he can never truly be the same, because, you know, he's basically half droid now, which also gets put to some good use when he uses it to open the ventilation shaft. Hopefully he uses his robot abilities more in episode 4. It's interesting how he's, in a way, using the Techno Union against itself, because he knows the way out of the base. Wat Tambor does get more screen time here. He is a good villain, but he is a little bit goofy, probably just because his voice isn't that intimidating. And the last character I want to talk about is Anakin. This is pretty subtle, but I like how this season sort of builds up his turn to Darth Vader. First, the council doesn't approve the mission, and then they don't send in any backup. You can see his frustration in that, so it makes sense why he doesn't like most of the Jedi very much. Anyways, enough with the characters. I now want to talk about the story of the episode. I think what this arc does that is great is introduce new ideas into Star Wars. And this episode really does that well, with new droid types like the electric probe thing I forgot the name of, and the battle droids even fly now. Even the Octopatara Magna Tri-droids fly. Yeah, that's what those big things are called. It's very hard to say. The final battle really does show the scale and power of them, with them towering over the battlefield. I always really like big, giant, dangerous things, and that would be obvious because I am a Godzilla fan. Probably my favorite scene, though, is when Anakin jumps on top of one of them and destroys its guns. It reminded me of the scene from the Clone Wars movie where he does the same thing. It might have just been an intentional reference to that. But yeah, that final battle was definitely very visually impressive and one of the most exciting battles in the Clone Wars. There was so much going on. It had great music and great action. For example, when Hunter uses the Vibro Blades to destroy the droids, that was pretty awesome. I think that was Hunter. I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to tell them apart. I also liked when Wrecker was holding up the leg of the Octopatara and the ground broke. It's like he's stronger than the planet's crust. But yeah, you guys get it. The action was really great in this episode. Even Echo joined in a little bit. And of course, the Poltex joined in the fight. I like their voices a lot. I actually saw this comment that said this on Star Wars Explained's video on episode 3. So yeah, that's probably true and slightly unfortunate. This episode was indeed short, and I've heard some people be disappointed by that. It's only 19 minutes long, 3 minutes less than the standard 22 minutes, but I don't really have a problem with that. The episode felt well paced and just focused on what's important. So my rating is 8 out of 10. I like it just as much as A Distant Echo. This was a fun, action-packed episode that introduced lots of new things and developed characters. Episode 4 will unfortunately be the final in this story arc and possibly the last time we see the Bad Batch. So I'm excited for next week. I think they will be returning to Anaxis in episode 4. So thank you all so much for watching another review of mine, and I hope you all enjoy. Peace out.